The Tarkov Natural Reserve, a once flourishing landscape housing an abundance of organisms, all tangling with each other in the competition of survival. This beautiful place, so full of life and potential, is now in grave jeopardy. The ecosystem seems to be in a state of decay, a state that, if not reversed, spells doom. Come along with me as we discover what afflicts this place and what may be done to prevent its untimely withering. The most grave threat that Tarkov currently faces is a declining population. Many organisms have simply left the region, perhaps never to return. Worse yet, even many Uberchads, the most committed of all species to this land, have departed. But why? Unfortunately, there are many reasons for this mass emigration. Tarkov already suffered many afflictions, colloquially known as Tarkov bullshit. The curse of desync holds a tight grasp over this land, making hunting a frustrating venture. Rather than ripping through flesh and bone, bullets seem to simply phase through targets. That, or they seem to whip around corners, hitting prey that is already well behind cover. More so, the audio of Tarkov seems distorted at all times. Slight differences in elevation cause thundering footsteps to sound like feathers gently falling onto sand. In a land like Tarkov, audio is vital, yet it is so poor that it cannot be used to gather information. This distortion has caused several habitats to be worthless places to visit. Rogues, raiders, and bosses are all absolutely ridiculous in terms of accuracy. It even affects the average scav. One moment they are a drunken farmer, the next they are the offspring of a Delta and SAS operator. The rage that is generated by such bullshit is indescribable. Worse are the cheaters. The cheaters are an invasive species that fester within Tarkov's borders. They are unbeatable, unavoidable, and drive organisms away. How can a PMC compete against such pathetically sad creatures? The caretakers of Tarkov claim to have exterminated many of these pests. However, many are unsure of the efficacy of their methods. It remains unclear if the thousands of players that left Tarkov because of cheaters will ever return. Perhaps most damning of all, there is no reason for players to interact with each other. The once bountiful key rooms have become empty husks, incapable of providing any sustenance or value. As a result, no organisms come to these areas. Some hope remains, as the marked rooms are said to have received buffs, perhaps making them a hotspot for PvP once more. In all other cases, the risk is simply too great for the pathetic rewards. PvP itself is often an unworthwhile venture. There is no purpose in hunting other PMCs when their kits can only be sold for a fraction of their value. Thus, there is no reason to fight, there is no incentive to hunt. There are still those creatures that hunt irregardless. Scuffles remain an exhilarating experience. However, they are purely a source of adrenaline and provide minimal progression. Tarkov is one of the few looter shooters to punish those that loot and shoot. This has given rise to rats. Rats guarantee their success by remaining stagnant, waiting for anything to creep by, and then striking from the shadows or bushes. And who can blame them? The caretakers of Tarkov have made any other strategy ineffective, emphasizing this incredibly boring, mundane hunting style. All this combined has damaged the sweat populations and utterly decimated the casual populations of Tarkov. Even more so, the quests have gotten increasingly difficult. Quest keys sometimes have only one usage, making death a major setback during questing. Like it or not, all games are fueled by the casual players, the organisms that don't have hours a day to play. This majority is necessary to provide sustenance for the organisms that reside higher up the food chain. Without them, the land of Tarkov will suffer immensely. These many issues, once ignored by the community, have finally boiled over. The streamers, venerated by many as the eldritch gods of these lands, have acknowledged the decay. By losing their favor, Tarkov has lost a vital source of incoming players. Those dedicated to these streamers may follow their guidance and leave Tarkov for good, further contributing to the mass emigration from its borders. What can be done to save this natural reserve? Well, Battlestate Games, the aforementioned caretakers, have already begun taking steps to improve the conditions and remedy the issues previously listed. Should they actually follow through with their statements, then Tarkov may recover and begin to flourish again. It will, however, take time, likely a lot of time. Until then, many organisms should remain as far from Tarkov as possible, returning only when it is capable of supporting life once more.